Hello and welcome to the Huntsville Animal Services. While it may have been easier to try shadowing a company that works in business and communication on a daily basis, I thought it might be interesting seeing how employees manage working with a group of dependents that have a distinctly different way of communicating. It can be a struggle working with a group of people who speak a different language, but how about a group that doesn't even speak at all? Employees at the HAS have to look for nonverbal cues and communicational issues with their residents on a daily basis, which is why I thought this would be the perfect place to volunteer at. The HAS is a generous organization that has to deal with massive overpopulation on a daily basis. Over the course of a year, they generally take in over 6,000 dogs, cats, rabbits, and more. They are constantly trying to educate the public and pet owners about the significance of spaying or neutering their animals in attempts to decrease population growth. They even engage in a catch and release program to help contain the population growth of feral cats and dogs. Today I am going to be demonstrating 3 key communication issues both the employees and dogs encountered during my stay with them. This is Jacob, Henry, and Buttercup, 3 wonderful dogs that help me understand more about some of the issues that are going on at the facility. Jacob suffered from what are known as environmental distractions, which are when we receive more messages than we can interpret, evaluate, and remember. In the facility, Jacob couldn't play or interact with other dogs because he was far too distracted by other animals, visitors, and other outside noises. He was so anxious that he even had a post on his cage that said he was far too confused from his surroundings to be mentally stable. Then I remembered what the book said regarding environmental distractions. If you want to listen effectively, reduce environmental distractions. So I took Jacob to one of the meet and greet rooms. After isolating Jacob and giving him all of my attention, he turned into one of the sweetest and calmest dogs ever. Mood management is also a major concern in the facility. Henry was a fantastic example of how the employees were trying to combat mood management. There were many methods the communication theory article suggested for dealing with mood management, but the 5 that were most applicable for the residents of the animal shelter were motivating them away from negative moods, rewarding them for positive moods, encouraging a change of pace, partaking in physical activities, and engaging the mind with mental activities. The center actually already had a few methods for dealing with this type of mood management. For example, each cage had a little bin outside that encouraged people to give the dogs a treat when they were obeying being quiet. They also always encouraged individuals to take the dogs out for a walk and get as much exercise as possible. They actually already had a program known as Get Along Little Doggies that allowed people to check out the animals for a day or even the weekend in order to play, go on hikes, and get acclimated with encountering people. The facility also had these peanut butter and food stuffed enrichment toys that were a great way to keep the dogs entertained. All of these were ways the shelter were working on keeping the dogs in a positive mood and engaging in the world around them. Message overload is one of the biggest concerns for both the animals and the employees in the facility. Message overload occurs when you receive more messages than we can effectively process. Combine that with the incomprehensibility of all the dogs and people talking, and it's a wonder anything gets done around there. For example, Buttercup was on the underdog list, which means she had been at the facility the longest without ever being adopted. One way workers help dogs like these is to make them more playful and learn some tricks so they'll be more presentable when people are looking to adopt them. I tried playing with Buttercup and teaching her, but she could hardly hear me, let alone pay attention. However, when I took her into a quiet room, she immediately opened up and was able to focus on playing and learning new tricks. She even picked up sit, shake, and roll over in under 10 minutes. In a place as busy as this, it's no wonder there are difficulties in communication, but it's wonderful to see both employees, volunteers, and animals working together to overcome them.